First off, Carlos, we just want to welcome you to the show, and thanks for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, we've been holding voting for our first ever year-end awards, and our readers and listeners voted your knockout over Dan Hardy of Knockout of the Year. Is there anything you'd like to tell the fans who voted for you?
That's awesome. Probably, just, thank you. I'm glad people, were entertained, and, I trained my ass off, and, that was the result.
Now you're set to face Chris Lytle at UFC 127 on February 27th. Is there a similar approach in regards to preparing yourself for the Lytle fight? Being as though he likes to stand and trade, much like Dan Hardy in your last fight.
Chris Lytle, he's a very well-rounded guy. And he kind of like me, he likes to stand and trade. His jiu-jitsu is very good. So pretty much I'm just going to keep training the way that I train anyway, which is, pretty much, train all aspects of my game.
Now the fight is set to take place in Sydney, Australia. How much do you feel that affects things? I mean, being though it's roughly a 16-hour plane ride, you'll be fighting in a different country. How do those things kind of affect your preparation, if at all?
No, not really. We just, I have to make sure that I get acclimated to Australia time, which shouldn't be a problem. Usually when I travel, I don't really have I don't have a problem when I'm until I get home and with my sleep pattern, because I adjust pretty quickly.
Now, not to look past Chris Lytle, but I mean, how much closer do you feel you would be to a title shot with a potential win over Chris?
Maybe one more fight. It depends on how the title picture looks at the time. There's some other guys vying for that title spot. So I think if I beat Chris, then maybe one more, and if I win one more, I think I'll probably be looking at a title shot.
And now, what goes through your mind when you hear people say George St. Pierre has basically cleaned out the welterweight division? I mean, do you feel people have kind of overlooked you in a sense?
Well, I mean, I definitely think I deserve a shot at the title. There's always up and coming guys. That I see guys coming up through the ranks that are probably going to be contenders very soon. So in this day and age in the sport, I think that there's going to be you can't. I don't know. I just think that there's more fighters coming up, and quicker than a champion can actually beat them.
And now, being as though you're a WEC veteran yourself, and that's where the fans were first kind of exposed to you, what was it like for you to see the final show earlier this month, WEC 53?
It was great, and I think that those guys put on a hell of a night of fights. All the guys that competed that night, and I think they really kind of sent WEC off. The way that it came off every time they put on a show with exciting fights, and I think that it's going to be a great addition to the UFC.
Now, what was it like for you personally to make the jump to the UFC? I mean, is there a different dynamic to it? And what kind of advice would you give, some of these up-and-coming guys, now that they're making the jump to the big stage?
As far as personally, basically it just kind of gave me motivation to climb again. I have a new goal, which is to get to the UFC title. After having accomplished my goal of becoming the WEC champion and defending. It was added motivation, I think. And then as far as advice I'd give to people, focus on fighting. There's a lot more that goes into it now with UFC and all, as far as promotion and exposure and all. But fighting's what got them there, so that's what they got to stick with.
And lastly, before we get going, Carlos, is there any shout-outs you'd like to give out? Anybody you'd like to thank?
I'd just like to thank all the fans. Thanks for the support. I've got awesome responses since my Dan Hardy fight, and I'm just excited to continue to entertain and training with Greg Jackson and my team down there. I think that I'm going to continue to improve and put on better and better fights.
And once again, Carlos, we just want to thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to join the show.
Yeah, sure, man. No problem.